think about Agra, you only see the Taj Mahal, but there's an Agra which is dilapidated completely.
Yeah.
There are people living on top of each other in a very suffocating environment. Some people who are committed to realism because this is
Yeah.
not real, and then there is a thing called fantasy, where we teach imagination in school, or we teach children to keep dreaming, and then, and then build that world accordingly, and that's another way of storytelling as well. The director's vision, to begin with, the support of the right producer, saying that we back your vision, and
Yeah.
the right actors.
Hello and welcome to My Cinema Story. So,
Hello.
Jugnuma is releasing soon and it has already traveled across Berlin, Miami, Leeds, and the trailer looks
Yes.
amazing. Uh,
Thank you.
the cellulite textures, Himalayan myth, and the memory. So,
Yes.
before we dive into the film, I would like to ask you that when you first read the script, what was that spark that made you say yes to this role or this film?
The thing is, there's very rare opportunities that actors like me get where the script and the art and life balance is completely aligned.
Yeah.
This script came to me when I was, obviously not only seeking work, but also seeking good work,
Yeah.
and post Tithi, Ram's voice was very intriguing to me, and I
Mm.
found it very fascinating that his technical knowledge of, like, and the fact that he will work with non actors is also very fascinating to me because of actors like me. um, uh, I mean, we get not only stereotype, but we also have like a lot of residue from working with other actors and different styles and everything. So I feel like this was a unique opportunity for me to see his fictional side
Yeah.
of things. And when I read the script, it was just like, a really interesting story, like for me. And I saw layered, and Nandini's character. And the thing is, the world building is what fascinates me a lot.
Mm.
There is realism. That's the tricky thing about storytelling, isn't it? There's some people who are committed to realism because this is
Yeah.
not real, and then there is a thing called fantasy, where we teach imagination in school, or we teach children to keep dreaming, and then, and then build that world accordingly, and that's another way of storytelling as well.
Yeah.
And I feel like Ram balanced the other, where it was a little fantastical, the magic realism that we see in the interconnectedness of the universe and how it works, like the God of small things, or and there are some metaphors and everything, which I'm just like. Well, what are you taking back from it? Is also for me, when I read the script, it was like very poignant. I was also, dropping my daughter to a hostel. That experience for us to separate like that was very ridden by a lot of fear, and and that we had to be adults, but and at the same time, when we function very well as a family, and things like that. So this really resonated with me, from the simplicity I come from, like.
Yeah.
We make it very complicated in the scheme of things, of like, life, and survivalists, and we all are, and especially if you're in the freelance business,
Yeah.
we know how difficult that really gets when it's all realism. There's no magic
Magic.
in you don't see the magic in struggle that much, but yeah, we all like to see the peaks of, like, say, the Grand Himalayas, but what's making the you know the base of that, that's what I feel like a lot of it was that, and it wasn't heavy, and it was just it was a beautiful light. Yeah.
As you said, the film lies in magical realism. So, how do you balance the real with surreal, we can say, as a performer? Did you prepare differently knowing this world?
I mean, see, the thing is, it's very irrelevant what I was doing because these are the things that I've grown up doing with my aunties or with my grandmother. You know, the achar making, the plum sauce, the little Nandini things is one
Mm.
contrast of India that I come from,
Yeah.
and there's this other contrast of India that I come from, which, Agra explores. So, my approach to Nandini was very internal, very soothing, very anchored to that environment. Where they know each other, they're very cordial with each other. Everyone knows what's going on. They are landowners. They also own the orchard where things are going on, and but there's an ecosystem that also follows through that Nandini manages and things like that. So basically, the management of things, and then and just like getting the daily management routine going, because that's something mothers are constantly doing a lot, whether it's I mean sometimes they're overworked and things like that. So yeah, I mean, there were many things, many ways I could approach it, but I feel like with this, the simpler I got, the more better and relaxed that approach became. It wasn't exotic for Nandini to be in the mountains at all. Yet the ecosystem provided, and she's providing back in that way, and it just takes care of each other. It was just life, as it were, and there's chaos, and then there's dignity, and also you see like a I mean, when you see there'll be these questions, I'm actually eager for the audience,
Yeah.
to ask and say that, what did you get from the film?
Right.
Because what I got was also I was going through a very personal, interesting journey myself to confront what would it be to lose your loved ones, right after COVID, but
Mm.
I was also on a set. And I'm like, oh, the fears I have, these people also have, and we yet here, building this world that we're going to share with someone else. So it becomes like a little joint effort of just putting a very sincere and honest story out there. Yeah. So
Right.
coming to your question, I digress. I know.
Yeah.
This approach was very like simple. It was very visceral. It was very we can you can make it as complex, but I feel like there's restraint and control, and the complexities are better when that is, pulled in the right way.
Every actor had that one moment on a shoot that lingers long after the wrap up. So, was there any scene in Jugnuma which stayed with you emotionally? Like without spoilers, of course.
I mean, what emotionally stayed with me about the fact is the fact that I just got out of home and I worked. The fact that I didn't care that I had a knee operation like 5 days before I got on the set. For me, that, the fact is, oh my God, I'm getting an opportunity to work with Ram Reddy on this very good script that came into fusion 2 years after I read it. So,
Oh.
yeah. So I'm just like, and I'll take that with me because first of all, I got out of my Bombay house, and I could breathe the mountains, and being that lockdown was just making me really restless and sad, and just getting there, I was just able to relax my nervous system in a way, and also like work with people I've always been curious about. So I will obviously have this very special in my heart. Like, yeah, all the. I mean, it's quite a special film.
Special film, yeah. And how was it working with Manoj Bajpayee, sir, who has done so many independent films, and you two are in that space? So, any new learnings?
New learnings is I have not done enough. New learnings is obviously he has more experience than me.
Yeah.
The new learnings is how to navigate the fact that he is master of his style and his career, and beats and things like that he approaches. And then there was me then marrying those styles, and I'm like, okay, this is realism in this way and stuff like that, to marry the two of us in that way. And but I don't think we are separate of each other in the film at all. I feel like it feels like we've been married a lot. And so it was very well cast. I thought, in that way. Even Deepak's relationship with Manoj. Deepak is a fascinating actor as well, and to see how he approaches a few things and then he got into it. Everyone's approach is like very different. We come from like very different schools, and things like that. So yeah, so that was very interesting to me. I mean, I don't think I have done enough like Manoj has. So
Yeah.
I can't compare my journeys with Manoj. I would like to say, said,
I think you're on the same path.
Manoj sir, I've done something, watch my film. I mean, we're friends now, of course.
Yeah.
Because I get conscious. Like, it's not like I don't speak in Hindi. I do speak in Hindi, but my survivalist Hindi is great. I grew up in Delhi,
Mhm.
and using public transport, he was speaking a lot of Hindi, but that kind of Hindi. And then there's Manoj's Hindi, then there's Deepak's Hindi, and their Hindi is so great. And I'm like feeling a little complex about a few things, and I'm like, you know what? End of the day, it's a mental game, isn't it? It's like, for anything, I'll need a good tutor. So I'm sure, like tomorrow, I feel like I can just call him up and say that "Meri Hindi theek karo," and he'll be very happy to.
That's great.
Yeah.
So, in general, your films seem to exist in very distinct emotional worlds. Like, if you
Yeah.
see Agra, it's little claustrophobic and unsettling. And Lion was expansive, yet deeply intimate. And now Jugnuma unfolds like a dream between memory and myth. So, as an
Yeah.
actor, how do you adjust to these different worlds?
The adjustment is my work. The emotional regulation is my work. The safety and also, the fact that we are absolutely allowed to make mistakes in the workshop. That's why there are workshops and stuff like that. And the respect and the safety net, and that if you fall, you make that a flubber, in a flat read, because you'll never find the character in a flat read. You can do three table reads, and I can still tell you will always report the actor from the last project you have seen of hers or his. You will not base that saying that, of course, something is expected, saying that, she knows lines. I mean, it's as basic. And she's getting there on time. So the adjustment is honestly my work, and it gives me great pleasure from going from one world to another, because that way the other expanse of the wheel of time is that I'm doing fantasy. In fantasy you can do anything, so I feel like the collaborative thing between the writer, director, and the actor just coming in and saying that, oh my god, I found this, okay, let's remember this. That's my work. you know. So I find that very gratifying, you know. So just like, get me on sets where I have to learn how to adjust, and it's absolutely fine. Like, I'll create any world with you, you know, because yeah, that's why it fascinates me, acting.
Yeah, and I think
Adjustment. It is. It's like me, a rendition of my character dying, for example. Okay, I'll do it one way. And the director's clever aptitude is to just come and tell me a few things. And I've just clocked in and I've made those adjustments. And then my scene is another 20 notches. So that is the chemistry that I'm going for.
yeah, I think that's very important. Like how you work with your director, like
Yeah.
his vision and what we take as an actor on set, and the director's vision. It should marry together.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, I may be a visionary, but I'm also loyal to the director's vision. So
Yeah,
her or his vision has to be very fierce and clear. What happens with the outcome and everything, we can all feverishly want the best out of our film, but
yeah,
that's not in our control. What's in our control is conviction, the director's vision to begin with, the support of the right producer, you know, saying that we back your vision, and
yeah.
the right actors saying that, you know what, I don't care who you are in your personal life, but man, please give me this vision. I know I can do justice to it.
So I recently watched Agra. Like last week only, I watched the film because yeah, it's not available easily. So,
Yeah.
and with Agra, you entered a suffocating kind of a world. It's very intimate and it's very different kind of storytelling. So how did you stay open as a performer in that film?
Let me ask you, why do you think, and as a, you know, and I'm curious as an actor and a
Yeah,
maker, that why do you think it was a different kind of storytelling?
because it took you like very deep into
It's
the dark,
uncomfortable, isn't it?
uncomfortable. Yeah, the title
And
is
why was
Agra,
it
and when
dark
we
to you?
think about Agra, it's always Taj Mahal. So,
Exactly.
but
So when you think about Agra, you only see the Taj Mahal, but there's an Agra which is dilapidated completely.
yeah,
There are people living on top of each other in a very suffocating environment. That's what, you know. There's one side of India that we just completely overlook, who is unemployed, who has, where women have very functional roles, and the men don't, and that's like it's sad, but that's the majority of India, you know,
mm,
who is kind of mentally sick in that way. We don't have the provision, you know. And somebody asked me, a journalist actually asked me, saying that क्यों healing नहीं होते, meditation नहीं होते. I said उनकी एक एक दिन की survival, उनको टाइम क्या कहाँ है मेडिटेशन, मेडिटेशन, हीलिंग, these are modules of the privilege.
right.
Understand that. There's an 80% of India that is suffocating like that.
And then there's a film like Lion, and with limited screen time, of course. How did you make that presence unforgettable? What was your experience about Lion?
I mean, of course, again, greed. Because, you know, I can't just imagine that, oh my God, I can do this and I can do that. I have to get the opportunity for it. And you get 3 minutes of screen time. You have to make sure you are the presence. You
Yeah,
know, you're present in the moment. You're listening to, exactly. We all know love loss. Our coping mechanisms are different. Our realities are different. Our circumstances are different, but we all know it. You know, and the thing is, for me, again, the study was to really go internal, you know, in my inner world, and really get out of, um, because from acting to cut, there are so many elements that you cannot go back to a certain memory and things like that. So for me, and then I'm still learning because probably my approach would be different right now because I'm more technically sound at the moment, you know. So and at that time it was very emotional because I would like, put myself in a glass bottle literally and just like, really get into the space of loneliness and, having to always come to terms with the fact that she's called a mad woman, of knowing that her son is somewhere alive, not knowing whether he is, and
Mm.
things like that. And that kind of world building is not external, it's a very internal world building. And so when you meet these real people and everything, it's important, it doesn't work against it. And somewhere the substance of that, if you can carry that essence of the real people who were involved, I feel like it's a great honor, isn't it, to be able to do it in how many ever technical minutes you get in the film.
Yeah.
Now things would be different. Now I'm just like, when I read a script, I'm like, oh, the script is really great. uh, I mean, penny for the wise. I'm not okay with casting directors saying that he one scene hai, but the best scene hai in the whole film. So, and अभी थोड़ा सा वो होता है, but at the same time, man, Lion was a very one of a kind opportunity which I endured. I mean, it opened a door for me that seemed very shut over here, and people would keep telling me, "तुम तो यहाँ की हो ही नहीं." And I'm like, I don't know what that means. I'm so convincing people that. I'm a very committed soul to my craft and everything. So it was getting too much, and I'm like, I'm really happy that Lion opened that door where I met some really incredible people um, who will be advocates of the work I do. Yeah,
You have also done one Marathi film, Half Ticket. So
yeah,
that also, I
enjoy.
really like that film.
Yeah,
It focused on two children. Yet you have that important role to deepen their world, without overshadowing it. So, like,
yeah.
how did you strike that balance and how was it working in the Marathi cinema zone?
I mean, I loved learning the language, first of all.
Yeah.
I got a very good tutor. She's actually incredible. I worked with her, and she was such a good teacher. And I mean, I did question the director. I'm like, there's such great Marathi actresses. Are you sure you want to work with me? He's like, no, yeah, I loved your film and I just feel like you'd be able to do it. And I'm like, I'm not scared that I'll be able to do it. I know I'll be able to do it. But, there's a politics attached to everything, I was nominated for Filmfare Marathi Cinema, and I thought that, oh, okay, that's incredible. But having said that, the striking a balance of overshadowing anyone, I don't worry about those things. I don't think those are my worries because
Mm.
when the script is such, you're not overshadowing anybody. You're helping each other. It's an ecosystem. It's a known ecosystem that if I'm struggling with it, then I'm like, oh my god, I'm going to struggle with this. I will have to make those adjustments with myself. Again, it's my work. I was getting paid very well, and the producers took really good care of me. So having said that, the balance and the kids were very disciplined. They weren't
Mm.
like really annoying kids. They were actually very good kids who knew what they were doing. And honestly, that is amazing for any actor, that you don't have to create a bond. End of the day, you're professionals. Now, since
Mm.
I'm the mother, I have to be a certain way. No, no, no. Cut to whatever. I'm playing your mom. My emotions are very like real for the craft of it and everything. And it's the same expected. They were actually very good. They were very good kids. Yeah.
Nice.
There's some annoying kids I worked with. So, but
Yeah.
touchwood, it's been very good ride. Whatever, whoever. kids I have worked with, it's been quite a good ride for me. Yeah.
Great. So then let's talk about the Wheel of Time. The the world, the character, again, it's different from what you generally play. How was the character more like you? How much? Or how much alien was it for you? The character and the world for that.
Let me tell you, none of anything I have done has ever been alien to me. That, I will find it somewhere. I have grown up with women like that. I have, Alana, at least for me, the rendition of it was that I mean, of course, I'm not 15, but, my 15-year-old spirit was intact, and I'm like, oh, wow, this is where there was so much rage growing up in Delhi for a woman like me that there were times I wanted to tear shit apart, and that rage only a woman knows, and that rage a man will know when it comes to their women or daughters, and I feel like Alana was my rendition of Alana is to honor that girl who really knows, has the warrior spirit, is a good friend. At the same time, she's quite away from all the politics, although she knows exactly what's going on. But also a little rogue, saying that you do you and let me do me. And I feel like by season three, I mean, season one, they gave me very little to do. Season two, I went like, they gave me a little bit more. By season three, she had her own track. That's the magic about television that I love. That if it clicks with the audience, it's iconic,
Yeah.
And luckily, even though the more I read about Alana, she wasn't the most likable character in the whole scheme of things, because there's some things she did which were questionable, which hasn't been explored. Poor thing, like because. Season four got cancelled, but they loved what I brought to the table. The joy, the darkness, the deepness, what's going on. Like she's building an army and things like that, and we're all sussing it anyway, isn't it? It's like, who are my people? Let me, and that's how I played Alana. It wasn't a big part of me saying that, "Mujhe yahan se reference nahi." It's all me. So.
I think mostly it all comes from inside. We try to fit
It
in
does. I mean, there are
different
technical
characters.
aspects of it. There were many things. Things were getting lit up. There was lots of action in the whole scheme of things. The action crew was just incredible. Like I would, if I would be hurt, they'd come, like, immediately take care of you and things like that. So it was all so well protected that we could really, like, all of us, I feel like we could really throw ourselves in it, and also feel a little valuable. It meant something. I created some good bonds in the making of the Wheel of Time, which I'll never forget. And I learned a few things, and maturity has taught me a few things. Um, and the fact that, yeah, there's just, I mean, there's an incredible world out there that I'm dying to explore, because thanks to the Wheel of Time, there's more.
Yeah. When you finish a role, do you leave the character behind or do some fragments of them stay with you?
I'm really trying to leave it all behind, because I really started thinking that I have superpowers, quite honestly. It's really funny. Like my daughter and I would like be crossing the road, and I'll be like, and things say, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm trying to block you and stop the auto." It's like, are you mad? so,
Actually, we as audience also feel that, like after watching a superhero film, we feel some kind of power. And you being an actor,
Imagine,
it's
right?
like
So
it should
imagine being
be.
an actor, how delusional we are sometimes. you know.
Yeah.
So because it's really funny, like I'm playing something out of my imagination now. Obviously I wanted always to be a superhero. Obviously I thought I was a superhero when I was 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if someone asked you to describe yourself only through the women you have played, what would that portrait look like?
The portrait of a woman. My God, you
Through
got
your
me really
through your
thinking.
characters.
Yeah, I played different characters and everything. And the fact that one of my biggest worry is that I'm not repeating myself as an artist. And I think I've tried to be as articulate before. I used to say like many weird statements and stuff like that, which I'm just like, it's really redundant. Some of the articles I read and I'm like cringing at myself because that's what evolution is. And I'm like, I just never want to repeat myself at all. And I will decide if that is good enough, you know, and I still
Yeah.
won't be defined at all. So it's untitled, it's undefinable, it's a work in progress.
Yeah. With Jugnuma about to reach audiences in India, if there is
Hmm.
one thought or feeling you'd like them to carry home after watching it, what would it be?
With all the devastation going on, I honestly, I just want them to have a good movie experience. Why did we go to the movies? To escape.
Mm.
Of course, there are thought provoking things happening, but end of the day, there's a child out there who's still comforted by a fable, comforted by a story, a folklore that we grew up with. We all have. Um, I mean, I'm not talking about the 1%, but I'm talking about the rest of us. I mean, जब 12 रुपए की टिकट होती थी स्कूल भाग के हम तब भी जाते थे क्योंकि उतने पैसे मिलते थे. So that kind of escapism or that enthusiasm, and I used to want to try and be like Govinda. There was a phase. So I'm just like, that kind of like joy and the peace that comes with storytelling. That's why we go to the movies.
Yeah.
And I hope when they go to Jugnuma, they are washed with some peace and light and hope. Yeah,
Amazing. I'm looking forward to watch it now.
I can't wait for you to watch it. Yeah.
Yeah. And one last question. So it's a
Gee.
signature question. Our page, our channel is called My Cinema Story. So this question we ask to everyone, like what made you fall in love with cinema? Your first story, your incident or a film which made you fall in love with cinema.
Cinema as such, like that romanticism has gone. Now it's very technical. It's very like, it's very self centered at the moment. But yeah, when I was a little girl and, I used to watch, say, Sri Devi, and I was like, that's so interesting to me. She actually convinced me there was an Ichhadari Nag somewhere, you
Yeah.
know? And things like that. And my father used to hate it because he's trying to make me understand mathematics, and I'm like, but I understand that mathematics. I'm really I'm curious about this. How does she do that? you know and then obviously my parents are also very responsible in bringing home the magic of realism in cinema, which was actually explored by a lot of say the arts and the ijazat and the and uh, Smita Patil's anything
Yes,
and
Shabana Azmi.
Taban Azmi's choices, and I was just like shaped by. women shaped by stories also, which was like chaos. So I was doing research since I was a child, because this one uncle has had an affair with this one is coming outside this one's house saying that I love him. I have seen it all, and this is like a movie which I'm just like, what's going on? Like, what is. And then I was watching these movies and I'm like, wow, they're actually writing about these things. And I'm like,
Right.
I want to play these complex roles when I grow up, but there was no voice of mine. Because also, I come from a working class and a middle class family where my parents still look forward to, my father's passed away, but there are ways, genuinely, they know they want to help. They're always so helpful, and that fear stopped my father from actually understanding my voice. And now I realize, since he's passed away, because these realizations don't happen like, yeah, because it's so easy to just like, challenge your parents so much. But I feel like he passed away, and then I realized that they did their best with the resources. It is a family business. It's bigger than what they could provide at that moment. And what I have done is by myself, for myself. And so I am incredibly proud of the fact that um, they couldn't help me anymore, and that I had to help myself, and I had to find my own path. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's it from my side.
Thank
I'm
you.
just looking forward to watch the film. So, like after watching the trailer, of course, I really intrigued with the frames and the way the story was being told. So, yeah, looking forward to watch the film.
Thanks, man.
And yeah, wish you all the best for your future films.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Cheers.
cheers.